Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and every day we bring you up-to-date news, technical analysis and hidden gems. So if you like making money, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell, select all notifications so you never miss a thing. Right, and one thing that I do want to mention is obviously we've got the members area. I think it's $4.99 a month. If you're interested in finding out about some of these hidden gems, ICOs, IDOs, all that sort of like wonderful stuff, do go to the channel. Okay, so lots of news to cover today. I'm going to touch a little bit on what's happening with Binance around the world, a little bit about the banks and what they're up to, and then I'm going to sort of cover off what some of the experts are saying and how it aligns to what we talk about when it comes to being successful long term in cryptocurrency and all that sort of wonderful stuff, right? So if that's the sort of stuff that you really like, hit the like button. It really does support the channel. It just pushes it out to other like-minded individuals. Right, enough said. Let's get over to the desktop. So let's start with Binance. I'm not going to get into some of these articles. I'm just going to whiz on through my thoughts on this. So we're obviously aware the FCA have sort of said that Binance haven't got any rights to be basically doing any regulated activity in the UK. So we know about that. So we know about Barclays stopping customers from purchasing crypto with debit credit cards or transferring, which is banned because of the e-money side of things in the UK. So we're aware of all of that stuff going on, and I haven't been worried about it. I kind of feel like Binance will just comply, or they will just get a third party to manage the e-money situation, right? Not all of their business is regulated, and for me, Barclays have crossed a line in regards to stopping their customers from purchasing crypto, right? That isn't anything to do with what the FCA are saying here, right? That is non-regulated activity. So I do have a bit of an understanding or a feeling as to why Barclays are doing that, and we'll get onto that in a moment, right? So crypto exchange Binance temporarily suspends payments from EU 𝗕𝗘𝗪 network, right? So this is across Europe, customers are now not allowed to deposit money using this network, and I guess it's similar to what we're seeing in the UK in regards to the regulators are tightening the screw on Binance, and this is because Binance have been not complying with the regulated news around like e-money, as I mentioned earlier as an example. And they really do need to comply in order to carry out business. Those are the rules, right? You've got to play by the rules. And they've moved their head office around several times to navigate around some of the rules, right? And am I concerned? No. I think short term, I guess there's issues getting your money onto the platform, and that's going to negatively impact Binance. But they're a big company. I think they're going to basically either comply or, like I say, get a third party to deal with it, right? With that said, I do want to touch on the fact that we always recommend using a hardware wallet. There's a link in the description. We use Ledger. This is the safest way to hold your cryptocurrency. It's really apparent from our Telegram group that a lot of people have all of their crypto on an exchange. Now, an exchange can get hacked. It's attached to the internet, and it's fantastic. The likes of Binance have got some really strong measures in place, and this isn't a Binance issue. But there's no safer way than having a hardware wallet where you actually have to agree, press a button on your hardware device in order for a transfer to be completed. So really important that you keep your crypto safe. I just wanted to highlight that. We don't feel that people should be keeping their crypto on an exchange. It's not the safest way to hold your crypto in our opinion. Obviously none of this is financial advice. So that's the first article. Just wanted to sort of go through that. We've then also had this from Natwest, and basically Natwest are basically putting a cap on transfers to the crypto exchange, right? Well, I don't know how they're doing that because you can't transfer your funds onto Binance at the moment anyway. So maybe it's card payments, and the article's got it incorrect. Like there's a limit on how much you can spend on a debit or credit card, when purchasing crypto through Binance. So, for me, it's almost like the banks are losing a battle here. They're going to lose some market share. There's the way the institutions are looking at it is that Ethereum, we hear about Ethereum flipping Bitcoin. I don't see that somehow, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't mind if I am, but it's just my opinion. That's because it's going to get Ethereum is going to get 2.5% of the bank's market share, right? And this is due to DeFi and NFTs and all this sort of jazz, right? So I don't think that they're going to get 2.5% because there's more DeFi projects. I think that 2.5% will be split between several projects. But the banks are losing this battle, and that's the point. They want the customers to keep their money in their banks so they can utilize it to run their businesses, right? It's an old-fashioned way of doing it. People aren't getting the interest that they can get with DeFi, for example. So, the way I see this one playing out is the banks will have to get on board. They will link into DeFi projects, and customers will start to be rewarded with great returns on their savings, like the old days, right? But on the flip side, there's another lens that you could look through, and that is the fact that, and we've talked about it on the show a few times, Binance Smart Chain has had several rug pulls. It was over 200 in 1 month. So I wouldn't be surprised if the banks are receiving lots of complaints, and there's actually genuine concern, and that might be another reason. So I think we've got to sort of cover both views and sort of raise those. So both have merit, but yeah, it's an interesting article. I don't want to really get into the article. I just wanted to sort of flag it. Then we've got more bank related information. So this is from China. So this is more about the government of China than I guess the banks of China. But the Chinese central bank sends another warning to companies against assisting crypto-related business. So this is basically you're not to support, right? And the other article that I've got, again, just related to China and its crackdown, and this is basically the central bank has attempted to close down a company that was providing or suspected of providing software services to support with transaction for cryptocurrency, right? So this has been an ongoing thing in China. They've been trying to ban crypto or Bitcoin since like 2012. They're never going to do it. And yeah, it's just one of those. It's just noise in the background. I don't think China really want to ban crypto. For me, this is all about control, and that's all that is about in my opinion. But let me know in the comments what your views are. Really interested to get other people's opinions and views. Then I wanted to sort of touch base on this one here. So this is about institutions, and we touched on it earlier in the video, turning bullish. They're now net buyers of crypto, which is the first time in 5 weeks. So basically, after the fact that institutions have been selling, and they've been doing a lot of selling, right? And they're partly the reason why we're in the situation we're in. There's lots of manipulation going on. It is what it is. But for me, this is a sign that we're turning a corner. The big money is buying. I expect that Bitcoin and Ether and altcoins are going to do particularly well. A lot of this is surrounding Grayscale. It's an interesting one, right? Because they've got a completely different view. They look at Bitcoin like Bitcoin is its own monetary system in a way, right? So it's going to be an interesting ride. We said there were going to be swings in the market back last year, so none of this comes as any surprise. We know where we're going, and I think as long as you're invested in the right projects, you're going to do well, right? And we have had other YouTubers saying that the safest place to put your money is Bitcoin and Ether, and they're not wrong, right? But you're not going to make the same level of gains as us, for example, unless you invest in projects and you're looking at what they're planning to do. Now, 90% of projects aren't successful. So, of course, it's more higher risk than Bitcoin and Ether. But then on the flip side, just because you've got the first mover advantage, your technology's old, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win that race over the long term, right? So I think there's definitely more gains to be made in projects that have got great utility and interoperability and a great team and great tech, right? So that sort of segues nicely into the last article here. And this is an article where they're basically saying that for long-term gains, look to utility. Cryptocurrencies with utility are the smart investment for the long haul, according to industry experts. So with this one, I wouldn't say they're strictly correct in everything that they write in here, but with over 4,000 cryptocurrencies to invest in, it's actually over 10. It's hard to know which ones to choose, so we talk about this a lot. However, whilst all are prone to volatile price swings, experts point to one quality above all others, and that is utility. And basically, I'm not going to read through all of the article, but utility refers to digital tokens built on a specific blockchain ecosystem. Let's use Ethereum, for example, ERC20 standard, which grants token holders certain rights. For example, Filecoin holders are permitted to use its decentralized data storage network. Alternatively, a game developing company could issue utility tokens to fund its next release, for example, and then give access to the gamers for, I don't know, in-game purchases and stuff like that, right? So it's interesting. We talk about the importance of what to look for when making investments in this space, right? And a lot of investors are just watching YouTubers, listening or reading what other influencers on other networks or social platforms are saying, and then they're just going straight in, right? You've got the meme coins and stuff like that, where they've got no real utility, no use case, and long term that's not gonna do well, right? So we give examples of VeChain and the fantastic use case that's got, and the utility, and the tech and the team, and where the partnerships, all of this sort of stuff. I don't think we can just pin it just on utility, but I do think it's a big point to raise, right? So if you've got a good use case and utility, then I think the project's likely to do well if the tech, the team can build up the right sort of following. Interoperability is so important, and we see Harmony One doing this with all the bridging as well, right? So I just wanted to sort of bring some of this up. I think it's really interesting to cover some of this stuff. It kind of feels like to me there's quite a lot of negative news, but I think this is coming from people that are losing the battle, right? And I have often talked about the scenario with blockbusters, right? If you remember blockbusters, if you don't, Google it, right? Because blockbusters had the opportunity to buy Netflix and they decided against it, and they were stuck in their ways, right? And I kind of feel like that's what we're seeing here in real time with the banks. Now, don't get me wrong, they're looking at CBDCs, and they're working with companies like Ripple and stuff like that, right? We know this. We know they're building these rails in the background. We've seen their project plans for this. So 2025, 2030 being a mature market, and for me, like, they're losing the battle in the short term. They're going to get on board. They know they're going to get on board. There's ample opportunity. We cover a lot of different projects on the members section, so do join up if you're interested in getting into projects super early. I think it's a fantastic opportunity to get into some ICOs, and ICO actually is live today, so if you join, you can look at that and get involved. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do give us a like. Really do appreciate it. It does support the channel. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit the bell, select all notifications so you never miss a thing, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.